fires. Stay away from the fish.
Alright, here's the next obstacle. It is the fish. Oh, it takes one hit. Oh, it takes two hits. No, Mr. Wilson!
I like the reverse way. You can reverse it.
The laser.
But once again, he...
Sorry,
No.
Melvin's having a frog party.
Oh man, and he just leveled up there. So you almost actually killed the frog that he was trying to...
Oh my god, people.
Oh my god, Quiet Wind Restored. Oh my god, they found Stomp. What the heck? What is this?
This is fast running.
Oh, Raziel fell! Oh no! Oh, Raziel!
Good morning, afternoon, and or evening, everybody. My name is Vol'jin. I'm here today with my buddy, the X Epic Cat X, or as we'll just call him, Bob, to bring you this match here today. Bob, how are you doing?
I am doing wonderful. How are you, Vol'jin?
I'm doing pretty well, and I'm very excited for this matchup we're about to see. It is a quote-unquote rematch. Actually, let's call it the first occurrence of a match between number 5 seed Roryrai, and also the organizer of the tournament with Meldon, and number 12 seed Oshi. This match, we had a bit of a thing happen last week, I believe. Bob, what do you know about that?
Well, I know it was the most tragic thing that's ever happened to anybody in history. Oshi supposedly was venturing up the Sorrow Pass and came across some unusual bug which corrupted his game file and unloaded all of Upper Sorrow. So yeah, that sounds like a very interesting occurrence.
Oh, absolutely delightful for sure. Yeah, both of us were not actually there, unfortunately, to witness that match, but we're definitely hoping to not have a repeat. Oshi has tested his game today, this morning, immediately prior to the race, to make sure that Sara is not going to have that problem again. It looks like everything's fine. In that race, prior to that issue occurring, Oshi was probably slightly ahead, was getting to Sara a little bit before Rory, but it was pretty close, and there was pretty decent chance of either of them really coming away with the eventual victory. So it will be interesting to see how the race goes today and whether they will ever see the coveted skill bash.
Speaking of how the race goes today, as you can see on the screen, the winner of this race next time will be playing Raziel. Personally, my favorite to win the whole thing. So this is one of those two people clashing and then making their way towards, I guess you could say, the final boss next time. So I'm looking forward to this match and that one as well.
Agreed. And we are getting started here. Just a reminder that the bracket that you did see was half of the bracket. So there's still a lot more tournament action to come to you. But as we get started, Bob, why don't you give me your guess on what we're going to see first?
First pickup, I'm going to go with... Oh, I want to say Keystone because that's what it's going to be, but I'm going to say One Experience because I like watching stuff.
All right, we'll see what we get. Looks like it is a Keystone. So we may be seeing some left glades action, or that may just be a red herring for now. We'll find out in just a little bit. Of course, the early game in these runs, if you've seen some of them before, you know that runners are mostly following the same path that you do in any other early speed run. They're going to go get their Spirit Flame, and then we're going to see some divergence. Bob, what would you like to see as we pick up an ability cell here? What's your favorite kind of opening in one of these seeds?
For playing these seeds, my favorite opening is either Charge Jump or Bash Grenade. But for watching seeds, definitely my favorite opening is Climb.
Wow, this guy. All right. Bash Grenade, of course, a very versatile set of skills. Personally, I kind of hate the whole Bash Grenade thing, but that is because I play on controller. So far, we have not seen a skill here, so we will still be waiting to find out where we're going to go, what we're going to do, whether it's going to be 2 keystones or something else. We've only got 2 pickups left before we have to make a decision. And there's that second keystone.
So it looks like a normal left glade start, unless by some miracle this happens to be climb, or wall jump, or charge jump. Oh, another keystone, so we are in fact going left.
And we saw Oshi going for the ghost door glitch, while Rory went for, oh, very interesting, Rory went for the fake flippers, where you dive under the water and pick up the item just before you run out of health, and he found a health cell down there, so that could potentially be useful information later on. Health could really be pretty important in a randomizer seed, right, Bob?
Oh yeah, and you can see how important it is on the right side here. Oshi found a mega health and is using that to go back and check that fake flippers himself, which in turn gets him another health cell.
That is a really beneficial and coincidental order for things to have worked out for him. Rory is not having gone back for that health cell, despite having gotten the mega health. And he's also checking the top left side of Glades here as well first.
Yeah, I like the idea of checking that left pickup first, because you never know if it'll be the map stone that you need to put into that altar. But as we see, Oshi just got a map stone, right? So sometimes it pays off.
Yep. You're definitely seeing there as I'm receiving a visit from the Epic Cat himself. Actually, not really, but a different Epic Cat. You might be able to hear through my mic. But now Oshi is going to do the same left side check, while Rory is probably going to head down to the wall jump tree, it looks like. No, he'll finish up his left glades first.
Yeah, I'd say it makes much more sense checking off and finishing the top ones, because climbing up from wall jump, if they don't happen to find that second keystone, is a big time sink, whereas this way, if they don't find anything they need, they can just altar and head back to the black route.
Right, of course. The beautiful randomizer feature of the Alt plus R key combination, where when you press it, you are teleported back to the start of the game. Specific to randomizer, of course, because there are a lot more options that can be provided if you have the ability to teleport out of somewhere that you're stuck. This wall jump tree being a great example.
Yeah, I had the privilege of playing this way back when Sigma started making it, and having some bugs in the logic where you would go down to the double jump tree and be stuck, and that wasn't fun.
So we're seeing both runners base.
What experience!
Lovely. So we're seeing both runners very much head to head, basically tied at this moment. And yeah, the 1 XP is particularly funny because there's exactly one experience pickup in the game. All the other experience items, as you might have noticed, are randomized in the amounts that they give, but the 1 XP is special. The minimum amount you can get from anything else is 2. So that's quite amusing.
And it looks like we're seeing both of them choose the altar and head in black root option. I like this, especially in singles. If this were something like doubles, we would expect to see that divergence here, but for singles this makes a lot more sense because you can check all of these pickups as well as grabbing a tree, which is one of the requirements for the randomizer run that we play.
That's right, and the alternative that both of them have available is they both have 2 keystones, so they could head 2 left glades, and there's up to 5 pickups there. They don't have anything to access the ability cell, but they could find something there. And it's fairly quick, but at the same time, you know, BRB, as mentioned, it'll accomplish that dual goal, and you have to do it eventually, so maybe why not just do it now?
Yeah. Going into left glades is usually sort of a risk-reward thing. If you find something nice like dash or charge jump, then it's definitely worth it. But in most cases, you're playing the odds here, and the odds are more in your favor if you head straight into black root.
So, unfortunately, fall into the spikes there. She had to wait quite a long time to run his health out to get back. Oh no, again!
Drop the orb! To drop the orb and wall jump up.
Oh, Rory having some problems here. And Rory doesn't have that health cell, so he's got slightly less time before he dies in those spikes. So yeah, they're still practically neck and neck. This is quite an interesting sequence so far.
They've already got me sweating.
So Oshi coming up to the top here with 1 health, Rory with 2 at least. Oshi also has already burned both energy that he had, whereas Rory's got 1 left for another save potentially.
Yeah, I like the play by Rory to skip out on 1 signal to get the energy cell so that he can skip the darkness cutscene. That's a nice heads up play by him.
Oh, the miss.
Oshi.
Alright, so looks like they're not checking that 100 XP up top. They're going to maybe put that off for later. You can check it kind of on the way up here. Oh, nope, there we go. She's going to do his right now. What are we going to see from that? Oh, no, we're going to see the fall. No.
She? Why?
We're going to see it from Rory with an ability cell. So Rory's winning in ability points right now. I did not see if he did any. Oh no! Oh, he's all the way back to the bottom. That was a very unfortunate turn of events for him. You know, he got that energy back, but then he was trying to save it for that cutscene skip. Oh,
this is hurting me.
Bob, what's your least favorite area of this game, and why is it BRB?
It's Glades because I live there, and.
Alright, well, Oshi will make his way back. This is definitely, unlike in maybe like an all-skills race, this is definitely not a catastrophic turn of events, just in the sense that Oshi will have plenty of opportunity to just catch up on the basis of routing. We'll see where that works out for him.
Yeah, one of the beautiful things about the randomizer is all it takes is one split-second decision to check something off the beaten path, and all of a sudden you've got dash and you're saving all of that time.
So Rory did not.
Charge.
Yes, he did get Charge Flame. And the Sunstone, hello. Alright. I was just going to say that he didn't quite get the cutscene skip, but he was able to use that time that he was waiting for it to go get Charge Flame, so it wasn't that bad of a thing.
So now we see Rory dropping back down for that ability cell in lower Blackroot, 26 experience, and we'll most likely see a death here so that he can go and check the Raziel No area.
We'll see what's down here. With wall jump, technically only the first pickup down here is considered to be available. However, he will be able to reach the later ones if he wants. He will probably do a glitch to make the boulder lose its collision, and then he'll let it pass through him. And he'll do a similar trick where he climbs on top of the blocks that fall to crush you, the same way that he did just above for Charge Flame.
Yeah, and I really like using this sequence break, because not only does it get you 2 pickups, but it also gets you a teleporter. And that's really handy later on in the game when you need to go through to lower Blackroot, or if you get stopped to go through into Grotto.
Agreed. Not just that, but coming back later to check just these small handful of pickups can be a huge pain, especially since you don't have the teleporter yet if you haven't done the sequence break. So definitely a good call on Rory's part. I'm sure Oshi will be doing the same thing.
Yep, looks like Rory just got health regeneration and some experience from the first pickup, so nothing too much here, but that teleporter will be nice later on.
He's gonna take a save here as well, just to restore his health and energy. He doesn't have any map stones to place on the monument, but it looks like he is going to let the Froggy break the block. So he will get in that XP, and it's Bash!
Oh,
Wow.
man.
All
What
right.
a pickup.
Well, we were just talking about wanting to see Bash compared to that previous seed, right?
Yeah, and it looks like Oshi is going to do the same thing, so we're going to see another close one, it looks like.
Alright, well, I'm going to put this question to you now. With Bash, where are you going to go? There's a lot of options. You got Bash and Charge Flame. We see what Rory's doing, but what's your take?
My take is basically exactly what Rory's doing. Check everything that you can in Glades, and then it looks like the seed is wanting them to head up to the retreat.
No.
Oh,
Oshi did not break the boulder. And moving on. I'm so sad that he's making this choice because it's going to put him way behind for the time being. Oh, that's draining right there.
That
now,
is. Oh man.
Now I'm real sad. As we see, Rory's doing his left side glades check, and we're gonna get Oshi doing the same pretty shortly, I'm guessing. And he's
At this
able to
point-
get up those moves, so.
Sorry. At this point, I'm really hoping that we get dash here, so that that lower right part was supposed to go to, so that Oshi goes back to get bash. But it looks like it's just going to be a bunch of keystones, so the logic wasn't intending them to get bash yet. Ugh.
That's real unfortunate. It's going to give Rory a very big advantage, and but at the same time, Oshi's making some different routing choices, so that might work out okay for him if he finds something, you know, interesting or compelling. I mean, he might find dash over here, while Rory is probably going to be watching this cutscene pretty soon. He'll do his valley check first.
Oh, grenade from Oshi.
All right. Unfortunately, it doesn't expand his capabilities that much, but it does make it so that he can do a lot more breaking of blue walls and stuff. You'll have infinite grenades due to the energy cost being removed.
So it looks like Rory is struggling a bit with Bird Boss blocking his cell. Oh, and he takes a death.
Oh,
that's costly.
really costly death. Oh boy. So that's unfortunate. Now that might only pull him even with the that costly death Oshi had earlier. Oshi has done a little more exploration of the top right now, up to that the path into the spider area, but he didn't go there. So now they're basically in the same spot. See how that works out.
Yeah, and you can see just how powerful Bash is in this area. Rory clearing it significantly faster than Oshi, and Bash will do that for pretty much every area in the game for him. You get a lot of bonus speed just from being able to move off of projectiles, move through the air more fluidly. Bash is just a really nice movement skill to have, especially this early.
Alright, we're seeing Rory's going to take his second shot at this valley area. All he really wants is that cell and the 100 XP, and if he can get it, I'm sure that he can. He wants to get the up in the top right as well.
I don't think he's going to opt to go back to the experience up top. He already saw that it was just an ability cell. Yep.
Oh,
But
nice.
that map stone is going to be nice.
Yeah, for sure. So the map stones, again, if you haven't been watching these races, the map stones are sort of like a quest where you have to deposit map stones as you acquire them, and regardless of which monuments you put them in, you get rewards based on how many map stones you've deposited. So Rory's going to be hoping that will also, having gotten that second one, will also give him a little bit of an advantage, though of course Oshi may well be heading over there as well shortly, and that does appear to be what he's doing.
Of course, Oshi also doesn't have Bash, so he's not going to be throwing in the time to check that top experience.
Yeah, can you even get to that with just wall jump? Because you can go far around the left with some skills, but I don't know that only wall jump is enough.
I think you can, maybe with a damage boost. I haven't actually tried it, but probably with a question mark.
Oshi did opt to, because he had grenade, he opted to break the plant in the top right, where Rory did not, because he had killed all his options to bash up there. And he received a keystone for his trouble. Hopefully that won't be too impactful. Usually it's not. Keystones are in fairly decent supply. And we see him coming back to BRB now. Is he going to get bash?
I really hope so. He's coming to check that map stone, and I hope he realizes that he didn't get that breakable block.
Oh, he gets bash! Alright. That's lovely. Is he gonna do it? Please! No! Oshi. Oh man. Alright, well I mean, we're gonna see Rory pick up dash as well pretty soon, since he's already got the second keystone. He gets clean water as well.
Wow, this seed is just giving things away little by little. But
And
the
it's
things it's giving
opening
away are great.
Yeah, incredibly quickly. They're gonna have access to so many different things as Rory goes into the water pit, as I've heard Trojan and Shed call it, down here with the spiders in it. He's gonna have access to that underwater XP pickup. I'm just wow. This seat has gotten very, very interesting suddenly.
Ooh, and it looks like Oshi's trying to make this jump. I really hope that he can to get clean water.
I think if you dash line, you're good, but it's not easy. It's a lot easier with bash, I'll tell you that.
Yes. It looks like he's giving up on it, fortunately.
That is a real shame. Bash it's just gonna keep coming back to haunt him for a pretty lengthy period of time until he goes back and checks that XP. And you know, it's just one pickup. I'm not even sure what the thought process would be on not taking that specific pickup. I know that breaking the boulder does cause issues potentially. Is he worried that he's not gonna be able to get up to the stomp post there later on?
Well, now that he has the teleporter, it does matter, but I also didn't see, he might have killed his Frankie, which would stop him from that, but I didn't pay enough attention to see that.
I don't think that he did, but you could be right. And that would certainly, obviously, prevent him from being able to do that. So we got some water pit, spider pit, whatever
Oshi
pit.
is struggling to break that block out there.
That thing is really finicky. Not playing it at all. He's picking up some more keystones. Rory getting his 9 XP. Lovely.
That's a huge pickup. Almost as valuable as that 1 XP.
Using the little spiked safety area there to make his way over this way. He does have bash, fortunately, so this will be a lot safer than it might otherwise be. And it's just a keystone.
I think he's gonna try and kill this swarm just to get back some health or experience, which is a smart idea.
So this is a very big advantage for Rory right now. I mean, what can you even imagine Oshi could find that would allow him to have, you know, some advantage over? Wow. Okay.
Is that Stomp?
That was Stomp.
That's what I was about to say. He could find Stomp.
Now that was on Mapstone 3. Now Rory does have 2 Mapstones, but he doesn't have. He hasn't gone to a 3rd monument, but he also has access to one. So he's just picked up. He's just headed over to the Isis area. And he's going to pick up dash momentarily. And there it is. So that is, unfortunately, that's probably not going to be the advantage that Oshi really needs, because Rory's going to be able to get it. He can just go back to BRB anytime and collect that from the map monument. And then he could go straight to the light grenade tree if you wanted.
Well, once he has Stomp, that's basically all that he really needs, actually. After that, it'll just be hunting up some more health and energy and then going and collecting all the trees, most likely.
Now, if you're missing something like if you're missing stuff like glide and charge jump, do you feel like it's mostly dependent on double bashes to be able to finish quickly, or like can you get by without necessarily being super confident on double bashes?
I find, well, double bashes help. They're mostly useful in the early game when a lot of areas are dependent on double jump and charge jump, but when you have grenade as well, a lot of those are alleviated. You can just do the 2 or 3 grenades in the air and bash up consecutively off of them. And especially when you have dash, and later on when you get air dash and charge dash, that becomes even less useful, really.
A slight miscalculation by Oshi. He had pushed the rock in, but forgot he doesn't have double jump, so it needs the rock to be there for him to actually continue up to the Ginza tree entrance and beyond, deeper into swamp. Both of these runners could actually do the iceless jump if they knew how to do it, and they could advance further with that, but you know.
Well,
whatever.
Rory has grenade and bash. I think he's just going this way to check. I mean, yes, they should isolate.
But that's correct. Rory does have the access to do that, whereas Oshi does not. He would have to do something else in order to make it up there. So instead, right swamp is mandatory for him.
I gotta say, Oshi's doing a pretty good job of keeping up with Rory, even without bash. He's missing a few pickups here and there, but so far they haven't been super important.
Yeah, it's mostly it really is coming down to like their progress difference is just Rory has bash, but otherwise they're at practically the same spots. It's very, very interesting to watch. And Rory finally getting his first health cell in this game.
There will also be a pickup to the right and a couple other pickups that Oshi will be able to get because he has Stomp as well, that Rory won't have access to until he goes into Grotto to get that.
He did not check that one. That's interesting. He did not check that ability cell, nor did he check the one above there.
Oh.
Is he
Oshi!
gonna-
Oh, he's got lasers.
Yeah, he's just gonna live with the lasers. You can do a cutscene skip here to avoid the lasers, as Rory just did, but Oshi just missed his timing a little bit, so he's just gonna live with them. They're not that bad. Like if you're an experienced speedrunner, you can deal with them. The toughest thing about them is just remembering that they're there, because you almost never have them. All right, so the Iceless XP was just health regen, so nothing particularly great.
Although with Oshi not having clean water, health regen does help out a lot.
That's a
Having
valid
that
point.
one extra tick when you're trying to swim through poison water, if he chooses to do so.
Yep, and for that matter, his 6 health count that he has right now could also help him in that regard.
Yes.
We'll see. And again, we see them at literally the same spot. Oshi is definitely cutting some corners. He's skipping a small number of pickups, but he's also just making very fast progress. And it's really impressive to watch this this comparison between them. But you know, you gotta wonder, like, when is Oshi gonna go back and get Bash?
I would wager he would go and complete most of Grotto, and then probably on his way to the Light Grenade tree with Stomp, go and check that pickup. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I guess now that he has Stomp, there's no reason not to check that pickup at all. So
Yeah.
hopefully that will be his next thing to do after completing Grotto. So a quick save glitch to force the bridge open, but regain control so he can get his water vein, which is 92 XP. Oh boy.
They're getting bigger.
That's true, actually. That is a minor thing that you can use to tell roughly what your progress into the intended progression is. And oh, hello.
Rory's got Glide.
That is a fantastic pickup to get at this point in the game. It's not required for sure, but it'll be very helpful.
Yeah, that makes his trip through Sorrow noticeably easier.
And Oshi picking up the counterpart Wind Restored on the way down. So Rory will get that soon as well, and they will both have access to, assuming Oshi gets a second energy cell, actually. He doesn't even have one. That's really interesting. He won't be able to open that energy door. Oh no. Oh, poor Oshi. He's just getting like all of these different things that are just preventing him from catching up to Rory. Even though he's in the same place progression-wise, eventually he's going to hit a wall here.
Yeah. I'm just imagining how different this would be if Oshi had picked up Bash early.
Oh, it would be night and day. Alright, so Oshi does not opt to try to do anything fancy to get to the bottom of that grotto section on the left, so he is going to head back. He does not have any map stones for this monument. Rory, on the other hand, when he gets there shortly, he will finally pick up Stomp. I don't think it's made too much of a difference between them at this point. Oh,
Oh. It's a big
Alright.
death, but he knows that he's not missing anything by staying away from the bottom part there.
These spikes are actually really a pain to deal with because there really are a lot of them. Oh man, and they deal a crap load of damage, as you saw there. Alright, so we are going to get this mini boss check. We'll see.
Rory
there's
picks
Rory's-
up Stomp. So
And he-
Rory is...
And win.
He's essentially in go mode right now with that pickup. I think he's got enough, well, he's got mega health as well, but he's got enough pickups, enough energy, enough health to where all he needs to do is make sure he has the keystones and he can just go hunting for the Ginso Key, he goes hunting for, well, that's about all he needs.
Oh. Another quick death for Oshi, but yeah, I mean, that's, you correctly named like the one potential limiting factor there, right? Which is keystones. And hopefully those won't be that big of a deal. Of course, regular keystones, not just the water vein.
Yes.
Oh, is that a Gumon seal?
That is a Gumon seal.
Oh, lovely. Alright, well, we'll see what Rory's next choice is. He has so many options. He could, as he said, he could just treat himself as being in go mode, but he is going to check some stuff, it looks like. So he's not going to act like he's in full go mode yet. And I'm curious what he would be trying to acquire at this stage.
It's hard to make out his number of keystones on our part of the stream. So he could be looking for more of those, or maybe a couple extra health pickups for safety. But it looks like he is transitioning.
Alright, that's probably the best play for him. Meanwhile, Oshi hopefully will head back to BRB now, having Stomp and not having a couple other things, and he will acquire Bash. He is going back to BRB. Good.
I hope he goes right and not left.
Oh god, please. Oshi, please do the right thing. Literally do the right thing.
Yes.
Alright, here we go.
He's got Bash!
Oh,
And
and you see that- Yep, he just had that one moment of, really? Alright, so he'll make his way down into BRB. Rory is still checking some stuff. He could be looking for more ability points, maybe, just to make sure that he'll have what he needs for cutscene skips. He has already gone deep in the blue tree. That was his main leveling plan, was to get Charge Dash, and after that, I don't think he's really done anything particularly interesting in the ability tree. His first shot for Fast Stompless actually looked pretty good, but his second one looks good too. So he should be fine.
There he is. Yep. So, considering that Oshi only took an extra maybe 30 seconds to get that Bash pickup, I'd say we have a very close race, actually.
Yeah, they've both got those, 5 or 6-ish trees to go collect each. And, one of them right now is for Rory, and then he's going to go very quickly make work of climb and charge jump, and Oshi, meanwhile, has got grenades, so he's going to go get his glide and other Valley stuff. So yeah, it's going to be just kind of a breakneck pace race right now. They're actually very much neck and neck, and I'm going to guess that they're not going to do too much farming right now. Meldon the truck suggests maybe they're looking for the absolute fastest pickups they can check to maybe get double jump, and that would probably be the only thing that they would really be interested in.
Yep. Also, thanks to Sigma in the chat pointing out that Oshi also doesn't have glide, which Rory picked up because
right.
he didn't have what he needed to get it at that time. So he could also be looking for that.
Yeah, that's valid, and the only thing that can really hurt him on per se is it'll make Misty more annoying, I suppose, and it could make Sarabash literally free for Rory, while as Oshi, actually has to do the trick. But we'll see. Clean water, of course, also going to make a difference for Oshi potentially, unless he's able to get to Ultra Defense. Currently, I think he only has 5 ability points, so I'm not sure he can get to it. So that might make a difference for him as well. He needs a certain amount of health to be able to get through the water in the final escape. I think with Bash and 6 health, actually, he's good, as long as he takes damage nowhere else in the escape.
Yeah, and that is a big if, missing out on several other very useful skills. Makes taking no damage very difficult.
Alright, so we see Rory is heading to Swamp. Yet another thing that I just didn't quite appreciate yet is that because Oshi doesn't have clean water, getting into Swamp is going to be a huge pain. That will be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think it would make the most sense for Oshi to find the water vein somewhere and then use the Ginso escape to get into Swamp.
Well, that will be pretty time costly for him, but if he's able to just play fast enough, then it might be alright. Looked like a Mapstone 4 check was just an ability cell there, so Rory, while he was passing through Swamp, just opted to check that real quick. At the cost of a small number of seconds. Meanwhile, Oshi getting his Mega Energy from Feather.
I gotta say, this all of this roading becomes a lot more interesting when you throw in not having double jump, because a lot of things when you have double jump that seem really trivial, oh, I'm gonna jump up this wall and check this, becomes so much more difficult when you don't have access to it.
Yeah, well, for that matter, if we're seeing Oshi go for Sarabash right now, that's a great example. Double jumpless, featherless Sarabash is not super fun. But if he feels confident enough with his double bashes, which right now he doesn't, so he's gonna drop. He's gonna head to Misty instead.
I like this play. There's always a good chance that he might find double jump in Misty.
So he's gonna check some stuff. Spirit Light efficiency, that's potentially nice. It might get him to Ultra Defense and make his Thornfeld entry free, basically. So I haven't seen enough of Oshi's play to know how confident he is at double bashes in general, but for today at least, it doesn't seem to be working out super well for him. So, oh god, well, this is the featherless Misty being not exactly a fun time. Just gonna check this XP as well. It's just Mega Energy, not really helping out.
Yeah, right now Oshi is just suffering from missing bash early on to prevent him from going to check all of the things that might have given him glide as well.
God. Oh! And Rory gets the free double jump in Sorrow. That's I have to say that's probably it. Like that, Rory's not going to have any limitations holding him back from finishing, and Oshi. Like, he might not even be able to get into Sorrow, and we know double jump is there, so he's not going to get anywhere else. It's a rough time for him.
Yeah, right now the only thing left for Rory to do is to find that water vein.
And of course, since this is Limit Keys mode, we do know there is a specific set of places where that water vein can be. It could either be on the bash tree. Sorry, it cannot be on the bash tree. It can either be on the climb tree, Misty, or the charge jump tree here, which he's going to, or it can be when you acquire the sunstone at the top.
Oh! Rory also
Wow.
gets charge jump. Oh man.
Wow. Oh wow. I'm floored.
This is just a treasure trove. Holy.
Yeah, so that's definitely it for Oshi. He's not going to get anything else. He needs to go find Feather or Clean Water or some set of things, and that's it. Or he's got to just man up with his double bashes and get every single one. So no water vein off of the charge jump tree, so that leaves a grand total of 3 options for it. And it could either be on the Sunstone up here at the top of Star Pass. It can be on the Wind Escape, or it can be on the Climb Tree in Misty. Oh, sorry,
Or
there's
it could
4.
be the Command Seal as well.
Correct, exactly. So any of the remaining keys or some other stuff. So what is Rory? Oh, okay, he's collecting his frog here so that he can make his way up to the Sunstone. That's a pretty good play. He's already here, obviously, and you really don't want to have to come all the way back to Sara Pass just to check the Sunstone later.
Oh, he kills the frog.
Trying his his crazy frog juggle. Oh man, now we're gonna see a long juggle. Oh, he's doing more crazy juggle.
Madman.
So this is a 2-frame trick. 1 frame causes you to...
Gets the frog. Oh. I think he's possibly just going...
Rock! Do the rock!
Rock?
Oh gosh, so we're seeing Oshi making something out of Misty. He's actually doing pretty dang well, because Misty is like extremely hard if you don't have Feather. It's totally designed to sit Feather. Oh! Got that! Help me, Feather! Come and get handy right now! Oh no! Oh, oh goodness.
Oh.
This is a treasured area right here, Misty. But he knows he doesn't need the plant now, so he's just supposed to go. Just killing everything. Almost die. Does he not have oh, he doesn't have energy. He ran out of energy. Trash. Oh, because he had to make saves. That is a real shame. We'll get there. Alright, meanwhile Rory's coming to the top. We're gonna see from his Sunstone whether or not it's Water Vein.
This could be a chance for Oshi to catch up if this is Water Vein, and if Water Vein's actually at the climb tree. Or elsewhere. Because that was a decent amount of time that Rory sunk into trying to get up to the Sunstone.
Well, I got news for you. It wasn't Sunstone. And it wasn't Climb.
Alright.
Man.
See if Oshi does do Altar. No, he's going to continue. This could be huge for Oshi. No, he ulted. Alright.
Okay, so are they... I mean, there's only one option, right? Are they both heading to Forlorn? Is that... Or is Oshi going to go back and try to do Sorrow? Because he doesn't know that it's not in Sorrow yet.
I think Oshi is going to try and search for Glide or Double Jump.
He went to the Thornfelt teleporter. We're going to see. Okay, Rory's going to get Climb Tree, of course. And then we'll see what he does. I still cannot believe that that Sorrow Pass having both Double Jump and Charge Jump. Like, what a fortuitous occurrence for Rory, and what an unfortunate thing for Oshi. We're seeing some farming from Oshi. This is definitely unfortunate. This really does pretty much mean that Rory's gonna be able to take this. I mean, it was already very likely, but yeah.
Yeah, this is just repercussions from not having Bash early on.
It's also really interesting to note that despite both players doing a pretty fair amount of farming, Rory came away with a total of 6 health and 4 energy, and Oshi is pretty much approximately the same spot. So, like, just really light on cells in this particular run. A lot of ability cells Rory was able to get, like, all the way to, I think, Charge Dash plus some other stuff, but, yeah. Very interesting how this randomizer plays out sometimes, and in this particular seed, it was very kind at certain moments, and unfortunately, Oshi just didn't get to take advantage of those moments.
Yep. It looks like Oshi is going to pick up this teleporter and then maybe look for something in Horror Fields. Which, unfortunately, the only thing that isn't accounted for, I believe, is Climb.
Oh boy. I'm really excited, man. Let's see. We can get Fields. This is like the most soul-crushing play too. This is the play you make when you're like, I give up, randomizer. You have defeated me. Like, show me that something that I desperately needed was here in Horror Fields. Just stick the fork in me and teach me my lesson. And unfortunately, sometimes you find, as it turns out, it wasn't here. It was somewhere else entirely. Sorry. Rory taking a taste of some spikes there on his way through the end of Misty. Fortunately, he's got enough health that it's not a big deal. He does have triple jump. I'm not sure if he has ultra defense.
I would assume so.
Of course, it really probably doesn't matter at this point. Oh, very nice attempt at the Bang Bang power strat. He was only slightly off on damaging the left mini-boss, but that looked pretty good.
So Oshi picks up one ability cell. The soul-crushing feat begins.
Oh man, now we gotta check the we gonna check the plant, or are we gonna check the... Looks like we're checking downstairs first.
Uses the bailing to push the rock off. I haven't seen
Actually,
that before.
I'm always curious as to whether runners, like, do know that that plant exists. I'm always worried about that. And it looks like Oshi does, so he's gonna check that first, so that's good. Unfortunately, it's just a keystone. And Rory on his walk back. This is actually really good. He's doing a very good job of the no damage Otzi's Torch walk strats there. So that was pretty impressive. Of course, the first category to require that garbage was 0 XP, so I'm well familiar with how those stats are. And Rory, of course, having to use them for all dungeons. Oh my! It's the water vein. There you go.
There it is.
So Rory's done. He's just going to make his way into Ginso, collect Bash, and he'll finish up. Unfortunately, Oshi, we're going to have to stick with him for a little bit, as he's going to try to find his last remaining things to feel comfortable, and unfortunately, they're not in horror fields.
I've got to wonder if Oshi is kicking himself right now for not checking that rock sooner.
You know, I think at this stage in a randomizer, just in general, not necessarily speaking from experience of this randomizer, but from Link to the Past, I know, like when you're at this point deep in and you had a decision like, say 20 minutes into the randomizer and now it's like 20 minutes later, that kind of hurt you. It's not as obvious that that is what screwed you. And I mean, like, it was such a chain of events for Oshi, right? Like, not having Bash made it hard for him to get clean water. And then, you know, just little other things, like he didn't have 2 energy, so he didn't get to check the thing that had Glide. So it's just little things like death by 1,000 cuts. Now he's got 4 energy, so he has a world of things open to him, which at this point is bad. He really doesn't.
He's not going down.
Oh, gosh.
Oshi. Don't do this to me.
So there is a question from the truck, and we're going to have to find out. Alt-Ring out of Misty is an interesting play that we're just realizing could it actually have a significant impact now, right?
Sometimes. I've never had an altar out of Misty actually make it unfinishable, from my experience, but I know other people have. So,
it's a bug that Sigma's worked very hard to fix, but it's like it doesn't reproduce all the time, so it's very hard for him to figure out exactly all the circumstances that happens. And we haven't seen it in this tournament. We're certainly hoping we're not going to see it here. That would just be tragic, to say the least.
But yeah, if it so happens that he goes into Misty and it doesn't load properly, there are ways to out of bounds in. Of course, this is technically a no out of bounds tournament, so I think he would lose the match automatically, although with the way this match is going right now,
Yeah.
I don't think that would matter too much.
Rory is making his way to Horror for his final escape, so it is basically a formality at this point. We'll see how Rory does on his final escape. He'll want to just get the fastest time he can. Obviously, he has no idea what Oshi's progress is like. You're not allowed to watch your opponent in a randomizer race, so he, and we haven't touched on this too much, but he might assume that Oshi made all the same decisions he did, or possibly even better ones. Meldon from the truck is clarifying to us that you can do whatever is necessary to get back into Misty if it is required due to the Altar bug. So if he does end up having bugged Misty, he can make his way back in through whatever means he can figure out to do so. But of course, the match is lost at that point anyway. But hopefully that won't be a problem. Hopefully he'll just be able to finish normally, even if he'll take the loss, obviously, from just Rory's going to finish first. Beautiful first try door warp from Rory. Or maybe it was 7th try, who even knows?
I can't count that high, so I don't know.
Oh, man. So we are seeing some of this early game stuff that Oshi was not able to check a lot earlier because he didn't have Bash. And yeah, this is just an unfortunate thing that's just going to consume a lot of time for him without really getting him anything.
Yeah, this is one of those things that's difficult to watch when you know exactly where he needs to go. But when you're there playing it, your mind is scrambling, thinking, what one pickup haven't I searched? What one place do I need to go that I forgot about?
So we won't see a grenade jump from Rory at the end of this escape because he does not have climb. So are we going to see some fish strats?
He saved an energy, I sure hope so.
Of course, we're gonna see some fish strats. Good on Rory to bring us some fish strats into our life, and he does pull them off. So GG to him. He'll hold right and finish around a 47-20 or so.
Yeah, that was a very well played seed. That early bash pickup, I think, was, well, definitely was the difference that was made in this seed, but still, he played it very well.
Yeah, for sure. His routing choices were extremely good, both early on in terms of getting bash, which obviously is luck, but just making that choice to do that, there wasn't really much to be gained by not checking that XP. And as we saw, right, like Oshi skipped it, but that didn't put him ahead like any amount of time compared to Rory. And of course, then he also didn't get bash, so that just hurt him further. Still doesn't have clean water. That was part of the knock-on effects of that decision. So yeah, and I would be curious actually to go back and watch where Rory's first energy cell came from, because that might also have been a consequence of having bash.
Looks like we're gonna see some poison water swimming from Oshi.
Yep. With ultra
Should be
defense,
fine.
happily this is pretty good.
Yeah, he has a lot of health, so. And Rory is finishing up. Time called at 47:25. He will advance to play Raziel in his next game. Very well job, GG to him.
Congratulations, Rory. Yeah, that was a fantastic job of displaying, randomizer routing and good decision making. Oshi, I mean, for his part, like aside from just that one choice that ended up costing him a lot, his decision making was good. He made all the same decisions for that matter as Rory. It's just he didn't have the ability to check some of the same things while he was going through those areas.
Yep. And that's the thing with Randomizer, is sometimes it's just that one pickup that you don't check at the right time, and all of a sudden you've got that butterfly effect where you miss this pickup, you miss that pickup. Now there's a whole bunch of things that you need to go back and check, and of course researching through areas eats up tons of time.
Well, he's only got one tree left to go, and 3 world events, so we're going to see what he'll opt to go for. Obviously, we know that the water vein is located on the Gumon Seal location. He has gone to Misty, but he teleported out using the Alt-R keybind that is allowed in Randomizer. Or invented in Randomizer, I guess is more accurate to say. And so we'll see whether he opts to go back there or whether he tries to go into Sorrow. He still has not found a climb. He will not, glide. And he will not be finding double jump or charge jump until he gets into Sorrow. So it's going to be a rough time for him.
Looks like he's abandoning the search for glider double jump. Going to try to get into Sorrow. If he's comfortable enough with double bashes, this is definitely doable. If not, it's going to be much more tricky.
Ooh, it does appear that's what he's going to be going for. And I think we did see him trying some double bashing early on. And that was before he went to Misty, and it didn't seem to be working out for him. I'm going to guess that he doesn't do a whole lot of double bashes. Maybe he even doesn't use the quote-unquote cheating method where you set up a keyboard bind and a mouse bind that allow you to do a slightly easier input to get double bashes a little bit more consistently. Ooh. At least he has a lot of health, but unfortunately it all evaporated and that happened.
If he had something like charge jump even, then he could just damage boost his way through, but of course, we know where that is as well.
Yeah, it's really unkind that this seed decided to put both double jump and charge jump in Sorrow. And not just in Sorrow in general, but specifically in the terrifying spike maze, like, of all the places. I think we're periodically seeing Oshi mouse out a couple like words or like symbols of things. I'm not making out all of them. Earlier there was something that looked like a joke about when he got the Gumon seal, but again it's hard to make out with the random mouse movements.
So if you were in Oshi's position right now, what would you opt to do? Would you try to double bash your way in, or would you go and search as long as it took to find that glide pickup?
Well, my answer is going to definitely be colored by the fact that I play on controller, so like double bashes are way harder for me. I can do a couple of them. Like I think maybe I'm slightly more confident in my double bashing than Oshi, probably not even justifiably. But yeah, I think I would have to give serious pause to thinking about that, and I would just be like, I gotta find something. Like, I would have to think back, like, what was I limited in before? And it's hard to say that I would definitely remember that I was limited on energy before, but I might think like, oh, I have 4 energy, maybe I'd go check energy doors, and it would be super time consuming. But you know, that's kind of just like, if you're not able to be very confident, that was close. Then yeah, you kind of have to try whatever, right? So I don't know. We'll see if Oshi. I almost don't want to see him give up. I want to see him power through. I want to see him get this, because if he pulls this off with all double bashes, it'll be impressive as heck. But it's so hard.
Yeah.
And you see just there, you see what the difference is between having feather or double jump when doing Sorrow Bash and not. It's not even necessarily because it allows you to avoid the spikes, because he's got tons of health. It's because it allows you to control the bird's position. As we're seeing a map check, he's trying to figure out what didn't I get. He sees the top of Glades. He sees some stuff in Spider area. We're gonna see him.
Yep.
All right.
I think this makes a lot more sense than just bashing his head against the Sorrow entry.
Yeah, I mean, he knows at this point he has lost the race, so he can kind of do whatever, and so he's just gonna try to not make it just this show of bashing his face against the rocks and spikes up there. He's gonna see if he can actually figure out where things are, and so we're gonna start with this check of top left Glades, which. Man, you almost never see this in Rando.
Yep. You can see him flailing his mouse away at the miniature cutscene that pops up the first time you go through the energy door, telling you, hey, put your energy in this door.
Oh, the front just landed on the right side of the rock. That's really funny. You know, you gotta, like, this definitely, you have to say that this really does suck.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you don't want to see anybody stuck on, oops, I missed one thing, and it's just screwing me forever.
Yeah, and it's even worse in this case because you know that there's only one thing that they can find.
Yep.
That will make this easier. Ugh.
That said, I mean, when he finds that one thing, thank God for Wind Restored. Like, he will be good to go. He'll just go finish up. But yeah, he has to check it first, and he's not able to make it with that ability, so I don't. We'll see whether he he's gonna keep going for it. What else can he do, right? Like, once you've committed.
Yeah.
Because what if this is Feather?
This would be a really awful piece for Feather.
Oh yeah, hardcore style. Spirit Flame upgrade, excellent.
Super useful. Yeah, this is one of those things where, especially people who are new to Randomizer, they get caught in this sort of thing all the time, where you know that you've got like 2 places left to go, but then you're missing that one thing and it just becomes a giant check everything.
Pretty much.
Can't
So
be.
you get some clean water there, which unfortunately is, again, a red herring. It might make him waste even more time going and checking underwater stuff, when really the only thing that matters is that 1-2 energy door in Grotto. But of course, at this stage, it's impossible to take your line of thinking back that far and remember, like, oh, well, this dude wanted me to get 2 energy by this point and go in this door, right? Like, how
Yeah.
would you do?
On the bright side, there is a fair amount of swimming to do around the grotto area, so maybe that'll be one of the things he checks, is that little swimming pocket behind the 2 energy door. And then he'll notice, oh, I didn't open this.
I certainly hope so. Yeah. So in the meantime, we are seeing him do things that are pretty logical. He remembers, you know, when I got grenade, I didn't bother checking like any of these grenade pickups, so let me go do that, which is a pretty reasonable play to make. He's also going to check this underwater area here, which we've never seen. We knew there was a health cell in the first one. Just XP.
It's also really unfortunate that he hasn't found any more energy. Because when you're sitting on only 4 energy and you're just opening 4 energy doors,
Yeah, it's a real pain.
now I'm out of energy.
He could save at the spirit wall there to get his energy back. There, he realizes that he can do that, so he's going to take that save. Looked
And
like
then
he was Death Gauntlet.
Yeah. The 4 energy door at the start of Death Gauntlet.
He'll get there pretty soon.
I hope so.
When he does, he's going to kick himself. But such is randomizer life, right? Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it will happen. And I mean, so you might wonder, like, as you're watching this, you're like, well, oh no, he ulted.
Oh,
No.
see?
Does he remember that door? Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Don't go to Lost Grove. Don't
No!
go there. Oh no. Oh goodness. Alright. We're going to Lost Grove. No, we're not? We're not? Is he going? Okay, he's just using this for an alternate entrance to Moon Grotto. Okay, alright. Whew.
I think he's planning on checking the 4 energy door in the bottom of Grotto.
Yeah, that would make sense. Unfortunately, yeah, I don't know if he remembers that 2 energy door. Like, he might have crossed it off his mental checklist already. Oh, an
It's an
energy
energy
cell.
cell.
That's nice. That is unironically nice. Like, that will potentially just, help him out a little bit. Well, to complete a thought, I was thinking out loud, if you watch this and you're like, well, what's the deal with randomizer? Like, how is it skill-based if you can just get screwed by this one thing? And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's random, and you can kind of miss out on one thing and get ruined, but the idea that the place where skill comes in is you can use your knowledge of the game and your knowledge of what things unlock what options, and you use that to make effective decisions about, like, this is the most likely to have something that I need, and this is less likely, or this is gonna have the most pickups per time unit, so I'm gonna be spending my time most efficiently if I go to this particular place. And that's really what you can do most effectively, and that's what Rory did in this scene. He didn't obviously he didn't know where Bash was, he didn't know where Dash or Grenade or Stomp were. He just went to the places that were, most efficient and most likely to have things based on his knowledge, and it paid off.
Yeah, I like to think of randomizers as sort of like a puzzle that needs to be solved. And of course, a large part of it is being able to play the game well and, having good mechanical skills. But the more important part is being able to remember places you've checked, being able to reason out places that you could check, and sort of unraveling this this puzzle to find everything that you need to find. And that's where a lot of the fun of playing, especially in sort of a competition against others, comes out. It's the same with playing I don't know, puzzle games against other people, like word games, trying to see who can come up with the most creative or efficient solution to the problem.
Yeah, I agree completely. We're seeing some more left swamp / hollow grove checks from Oshi. Unfortunately, we do know these are nothing, but I will be, I guess, curious to see what they are, what they yield here.
I'm just concerned because he thinks that he's checked everything in Grotto, and so there might not be any reason for him to go down to the 2 energy door until he realizes it on his map that he didn't check it.
Yeah, it could be a while.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be that crazy, and he'll just kind of think like, wait a second, like what about other energy doors? Wasn't there a 2 energy door back there? I think the point that you raised about about like skill level and stuff, as far as your mechanical skills at the game, is really good, and it's really interesting to raise it in this race, particularly because there's actually not that much of a mechanical like skill difference between these two runners. They're both extremely skilled runners. Rory, of course, having a very competitive time in the all dungeons category and having been world record in that kind of world record holder in that category before. And Oshi, of course, having a very good time in the all skills category. Rory does as well. So they're both really good at this game, without a doubt. And you've seen in this run, even though at many times Oshi didn't have Bash, he was still traversing the world basically as quickly as Rory was. But unfortunately, it's a randomizer, so the access to skills also kind of really affects. Oh, ouch.
Oh, I think he's looking to go swimming for keystones.
Yeah, that's a decision. I mean, yeah, like we've said a couple times, at this point, because you're far past the point in your mental model of the randomizer that you can actually remember what pickups were opened at what times. It's impossible for you to go back and say like, oh, well, I know this one was opened much later, and I know this one was dependent on things that I got later in the seed. There's no way. You just can't remember that far back. So unfortunately, that's gonna mean that we're going for a swim here pretty shortly.
No, swimming's nice. I've heard it gets warm in Nibel.
Yeah, the warm waters of Nibel seem to be ideal for storm growth. Sorry, a little topical humor there. I promise I won't do it again. Oh God, are we going for? Oh, he's trying to damage boost. I'm super confused. The left one is really not ideal for this trick. If he's trying to do the double bash trick to get up there, you would prefer the right one. It has a better range. Oh no, he's too far.
He got it.
Oh, sick.
Ability cell.
Oh God, it's too bad the reward was like nothing, but that was really impressive. He got some confidence back with his double bashes.
I'd also like to point out that, just from personal experience, the double bashes around Sorrow entrance also seem a bit more finicky than elsewhere. I'm not sure if anyone else has ever noticed that, but I find even with the quote-unquote cheating method that they tend to fail more often around Sorrow pass entry.
I wonder if there's if the birds are weird for that trick for some reason, or maybe if there's something about like lag in that area.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I've never done a lot of sorrow bashes. No, I've done a lot of sorrow bashes. I've never done a lot of double bashes there, since obviously I prefer not to on controller as much as possible. For those wondering why if you haven't played on controller, if you haven't tried double bashes on controller, you have to release the bash button for 1 frame in order to do a double bash, and then repress it immediately. Is he okay? He's going down towards 4. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, no, please. I'm just gonna ignore the events that are happening in front of me and just resume that that thing about all the dashes. So, that's the intended input is that you have to release the button for 1 frame and then repress it. Now, on keyboard and mouse, you can do a bind where you set it up so that you have 2 keys, or maybe 1 key and 1 mouse button, that are both mapped to the C key, or whatever your bash key happens to be. But it specifically has to be keys. It can't be 2 mouse buttons. As far as the game knows, it has to be 2 things that are acting like keys. And if you do that, then what you can do is hold one of them and tap the other, and it will give you a quote-unquote free double bash. And we say quote-unquote free because, oh, climb!
There it is.
Oh, wow. All right.
I'm just wondering how long it's going to take him to go into Horu.
Oh, no.
We have the Sunstone as well.
Oh, we could be here for a while. Oh. But yeah, we say quote-unquote free on the double bash trick because it's not actually free. It is significantly easier than doing, release the mouse button for 1 frame and then repress it. But it's not free by any stretch. There's some timing and some finickiness to it, as Bob mentioned. On controller, you don't get that option. You can't do that. That type of rebinding just does not work. So it makes doing double bashes just... You have to release the Y button for 1 frame and then repress it, and that is incredibly difficult.
Alright, looks like we aren't seeing Forlorn.
Thank God.
Oh, where is he going?
He's going back to Valley. Is he going to try with Climb now? I don't know. I don't know if that Climb makes any difference at all. But we'll see.
Maybe he's... Okay, I was going to say maybe he's going back into Misty. Check all of the pickups he missed at the end of that.
Yep, not yet. It looks like he is going to try for Star Bash. Alright. Oh, gosh. We did see some successful double bashes from him, so hopefully, hopefully he feels better about that. He does have a crap load of HP thanks to Mega Health.
I think that... Oh, never mind.
With triple jump and that much HP, can you just literally scale the spikes?
Well, he doesn't have double jump, so triple jump doesn't do anything as well.
Of course. Yeah, Yep. Every
But
once in a
yes,
while,
yes, you could.
shuts off. So it's double bashes all the way. He's tired of searching. He didn't, unfortunately, he did not remember the 2 energy door. So we're just gonna see is he able to do it. Okay, there's 1. There's 2. Oh no! The reflex.
I think the worst part of this as well is that, to my knowledge, there aren't any friendly spikes in this pit, so you can't stand anywhere and throw grenades to bash off of. Oh!
Yep.
Oh! Come on!
Oh yes! He made it! Ah, finally.
We're there.
Alright, so now he'll be able to finish off Sorrow. Making it in is definitely the hardest part when you don't have Feather.
This is also a very difficult part without double jump or...
Oh, that's true. And he doesn't...
Feather.
He has Climb, but he doesn't have Charge Jump because it's upstairs. Oh, and now the frog's dead. Rip.
Rip Froggy.
For a very brief instant, I thought he might not have saved in Sorrow. And my heart was just explode.
Oh, he broke it.
Good.
Okay.
Good stuff. So he just has to get back up there again, which is just another rocket jump. And
Some
now
wall
he's got
jumps.
grenades and wall jumps. He's fun. So
He
now
also
just
is kind of low on energy though, so charge dashes will be difficult. But
double jump. And therefore triple jump.
yes.
He can also, if he wants, he can regain even more health by just, once you die, your save comes off cooldown, so he can just walk to the right on that platform there and make another save. And then
Does
he can
he
walk
have ultra defense?
That is a good question. He has 8 ability points, so even if he doesn't, he can get it easily, but I think he's only taking 3 damage. Okay, so he is doing another save to get some health back. He has some energy regen too, so he got some energy as well. And now he has to save with double jump, so that will help a lot. He didn't check the charge jump pickup. No, check it, dude. It's just one more thing. Just check it.
That charge jump pickup could potentially save him here if he does check it.
Oh, ow. Oh, ow. Okay. Spikes. I'm so sad that he's not checking it.
That's one of those ones where if you're trying to do this without glide, you always check it just in case there's enough experience to level you up or a mega health or something that makes it easier.
He checked it. It's checked. And he's
he
like,
knows.
what is this thing? The little mouse movements. I love the mouse movements, dude. You always know, like, are you kidding me with this crap right now? He got it.
We're there, but unfortunately he also has more to do to get the water vein after this as well.
Oh, God.
Never
So we're
end.
gonna see him probably find his way up to the Sunstone now. That is what he's doing, looks like. Dude, he's got wall charge jumps though. Awesome.
He's got grenade jumps.
Oh man. Well, I mean,
I know how you feel.
what a seed, dude. Just what a seed. I think we all know this feeling from doing randomizers. I've had plenty of seeds like this in Link to the Past, for that matter, where it's just like, what do you mean the hammer was in some like super obvious location and I had to traipse around the dark world like 4 times to yes, dude. Oh, that's
wow.
I wonder if
real
he
well done.
practiced that. He has to have known that would work, because there's no way you would just like come up with that strat totally on the fly first try. He does have ultra defense as we thought.
Okay.
So now we'll probably get maybe some attack upgrades. He's gonna get map markers. Alright, we going red. Well, now what, he says.
37
2
experience. They're getting smaller.
It's either in Misty or it's in Forlorn. And for some reason he's manually leaving. Is that because he's going to Misty?
Probably. I hope so.
Oh, God. Don't mind me. I'm watching the wrong thing. It's all good. Oh, there it is.
Okay. We're good.
Alright, Misty is reloaded, so we're good. He'll be able to get to the Gumon Seal.
At this point, he's probably thinking that if it's in Forlorn, all hope is lost. A seed like this with Forlorn to cap it off would just be overkill.
I think he can roughly guess based on Rory's time that it's probably not.
Probably not. Oh. Health regen. Save, please. No.
Nah, why would you? Who's gonna save? He's got time for that.
There.
Well,
there.
he does.
Of course he does.
Oh God, cutting those jumps are real close. Oh! Okay.
It's alright. We're professional commentators.
Yep. Those are the noises commentators make, for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Later, frog.
I definitely hope I hope Oshi's not kicking himself too hard for this. I think once he realizes where Feather is, he might be. But you know, again, it really comes down to very minor things, and you know, all you can really do is say like, okay, well, I did screw that up, but like, you know, like it just as easily could have been literally nothing at that pickup, and this would be a totally different seed. So that's just you know, the luck of the draw combined with it's routing luck basically. You make the highest probability decisions, and if they don't pay off, then well, that sucks.
Yeah, this is one of those seeds where he'll look back and think to himself, wow, this was so obvious, but it really isn't. It's so easy to just miss single pickups here and there that end up being exactly what you needed.
Yeah, like even if you aren't right next to them, as he was in this case, like you can still just like be going by and just not think like, oh, I have, even though I don't have the normal combination of skills to reach a particular thing, I have some super esoteric weird one that I can use. And that's pretty easy to forget, even if you're an extremely skilled randomizer runner like both of these players are.
Yep. Also, that was a very nice Misty mini-boss kill.
It wasn't bang bang pow, but I'll take it.
I think he finished off both of them with his charge dash.
Yeah, that was the boom boom boom.
Yes.
Good old names for these tricks that totally make sense.
Of course they do. What else would you name them?
So Rory went through this with the more optimal dodging everything strats, but Oshi's got double spirit flame upgrades, so he's just destroying everything.
Yep, he went with the Rambo option.
Alright, Oshi will be picking up his water vein finally. He will make his way to the Ginso tree, and he will be collecting his bash skill tree, which I don't even remember what it gave, but it wasn't anything particularly interesting. And then he'll make his way to Horu and finish up. He's got a nice, lovely yellow Ori going on right now.
I'm a big fan of Pikachu Ori. On the bright side, he has a whole bunch of skills to kill the Ginso mini-boss with.
Yeah, you know, it's actually fairly uncommon to see a run in which, a randomizer run in which you get all of the skills. And neither runner actually did get all the skills, however, like, they were all easily available. Like, Rory, without going well out of his way, got everything except Climb. And then Oshi picked up Climb, so...
Alright, how many cycles on this mini-boss do you think we'll see?
Maybe we'll go with half?
Half?
Half of a cycle, yeah.
I'm gonna say 2 cycle, because he'll do something and then the mini-boss will run away from him.
Oh, wow. You have little faith. I believe in my man Oshi. He got it. The real question that we should ask one another when they're going to Ginso is, what strat do you think they're going to use on this projectile redirect thing?
I'm a big fan of the charge dash strat.
Oh, man. Alright, here goes the mini-boss.
Oh,
Gone. Goodbye.
wow. Are you sure there was a mini-boss there?
There might have been.
There was,
Oh,
like,
no! He has 3 keystones!
the keystone!
Notice.
All of that picking up and... oh, man.
Please. Please. Okay. Oh,
The
God.
last one. Wow.
Right until the last minute, he's still giving us heart attacks. And we done. We collected the ability self in the bash tree. We're going to be making our way to Horu.
Bet Oshi's breathing a sigh of relief as well.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta say, you know, the hat's off to Oshi for just sticking it out and finishing up and not just being like, I mean, like, when Rory finished, it's like, okay, it's 47 minutes. I can't even get into Sorrow, and he's done. like at that point you would assume anyone would have some amount of like, I kind of just want to. Yeah. But Oshi stuck it out, which is really cool. We got to watch him get his Zarabash in order, which was actually pretty impressive in the end. They managed to pull it off. More grenade jump, come on. Yeah, there you go. So good job by him to really not just rage quit, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's particularly predisposed to rage quitting, but I know I would at least have had the thought cross my mind at that point.
No, I play other games with Oshi, and he is a very easygoing gamer. So he's the kind of person I would expect to get stumped on a seed like this and power through it.
And that is what we've seen today. We're also seeing some door warp. I'm pretty sure that's been like 46 tries so far, but
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll get it on the 23rd.
That was attempt number 723.
Agreed. His pass attempt was good.
But I believe it was actually 5. It's a question mark.
See, that's why I don't try for real numbers anymore. It's impossible to count, dude. Alright. In the truck, we do have 5 from Salandriel, so
Haha.
the count was correct. Confirmed for the truck. Thanks very much. Nice pink Ori to finish up. One of my
Very-
personal favorite colors.
Very easy to see in the red background.
Basically invisible, but you know, whatever, it's fine. Alright, are we gonna get both fish strats and grenade jump maybe? Are we gonna get the full swag?
Probably. Oh. I was gonna say probably just grenade jump, but
Oh man. Oh, I'm so excited for this.
I hope. He went for it, but missed the
Alright.
snatch on the wall.
It's fine though, fish strats for
Yeah.
the fan.
Fish strats any day.
So GG to Oshi, overcoming just that absolute brutal oversight of Feather and managing to finish up without Feather. Unfortunately, will be eliminated from the tournament. Rory, as we mentioned, will move on to face the Portuguese pain train, Raziel.
I think that title is even more appropriate in Randomizer. He is just so good at these.
In case you don't remember, there was this other guy in this race, Rory, who did win. And I know that was a while ago, but we will be bringing him in for a quick chat as Oshi finishes up here. So we'll get him wrangled into here momentarily.
Do we see some Naru hops though? I really hope so.
My body is ready.
Of
And
course,
so is my
yes.
body.
So Oshi finishes up with a time of 1:24.28. Considering everything that happened with the seed, definitely a reasonable time.
Yeah. You know, that in the end, it wasn't even the bash that really caused the most problems for
Yeah.
Oshi. Definitely the lack of Feather. But a great job to power through it. Again, as you see on the... Oh man, I thought we'd brought up the bracket there briefly, but yeah. So Rory will be moving on to face Raziel, and we do welcome him in now. Rory has joined us in the call, and Rory, congratulations on the win, and just tell us your initial thoughts when you completed that seed.
How's it going, guys? So early on, I actually wasn't sure if I was ahead or not early. I found Bash and I found Charge Flame early. I thought for a long time that Oshi found Dash before I did. And then other than that, it was pretty good. The Spaghetti and Sorrow made me think I was behind though.
Oh man,
Little
Spaghetti.
did you know.
It hurts. It hurts real deep. Oh man. Well, I mean, it was the case that you did find Dash second. You ended up taking a little bit longer to go check the map stones, but you had Bash already. What were your thoughts at that time as far as your priorities for progressing through the seed?
Like when I found Dash or Bash?
When you found Bash.
So when I found Bash, I was thinking, well, so at that time I had also just found Charge Flame after sequence breaking the Crushers. So because I didn't know where anything else was, I was like, well, we're probably getting sent through past Charge Flame through Hollygrove. And because of that, I thought, well, these Crushers are sequence break, so I'm expecting Dash to be like in Left Blades or in Charge Flame or something. So after I found Bash, I was just like, we're gonna go that way. I found Grenade, and then it was, okay, we can check literally everything, but there's not a lot that I need to check because I have Bash at this point. And I was sort of still expecting to find Dash soon. So at that point, I just sort of went and checked things that were kind of on the way. I got the clean water, and I know I thought about going back and checking the underwater stuff in Blades, but I decided to go for the teleporters in Swamp and Grotto first. And I just sort of logically followed it around through Swamp into Grotto.
Yeah, you did very good job of roading through that, considering everything that you got and when you got it. My question is, did the thought ever cross your mind that you might have to go into Forlorn?
Yes, it did. As I was going through the second half of Misty, I was actually hoping to go to Forlorn. And the reason for that is because of all of the mistakes and sorrow with the frogs. I actually thought that I was possibly behind at that point, because in a randomizer, you sort of have to assume that the other person has picked up all of the same things as you. Yeah. So because of that, I figured, well, if Oshi's picked up everything that I have and has gone at about the same pace, he's probably even or ahead. So if the water vein had not been at the Kumon Seal, I thought, well, if it's in Forlorn, I think that's my best chance of gaining that time that I lost in Sorrow back, because I've practiced all of that movement a lot. Whereas it's more even if it's at the Kumon Seal.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially with the all dungeons, one of the few categories that actually goes into Forlorn.
I know I saw you practicing that meteor kick going down there before the race.
That meteor kick is so much fun. I wish I'd gotten to do it.
Oh, man. Well, obviously you came away with a very, very significant victory in terms of margin of time, but also just in terms of, obviously you get to move on and you get to face Raziel. Tell me your thoughts about your forthcoming opponent and how scared or not scared you are.
So, Raziel is terrifying. I'm going to be honest about that. I think at this point he's one of the clear favorites to win. So, I've definitely got my work cut out for me there. But I do think he is beatable. So we're sort of going to have to see what the seed gives us. I think it's going to be a fun match.
All right, my question. For that seed, would you rather have wall jump, charge jump, bash grenade, or climb?
Huh. That's a good question.
Really pick up.
That is a very good question. I think bash grenade.
Bash grenade?
Yes.
Well, I'll sit here and hope for climb.
My reasoning for that is that I don't want to be in a position where I feel like I might be missing something against Raziel. Because if that's the case, it's possible that I might actually be missing something and he finds it, or I spend too much time checking things when I really should just be going.
Makes sense.
Well, Bob, do you have any last questions or thoughts for Rory?
No, I think I'm good.
Rory, for your part, any parting thoughts for our viewers?
I don't know. I guess That's about it.
Man of a few words here, but
I'm
still... And congratulations again, Rory, on your victory today in very convincing fashion. Good luck against Raziel.
I'm gonna need it. That's all that randomizers are, is luck.
That's all they are, clearly. So we'll have another match coming up today, as well as a doubles tournament match from the same tournament, obviously. The doubles match is going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time between Team Cockatrice and Team That Trick Sucks. That Trick Sucks being the team of Hitachi Hex and Uncle Ronnie, and Cockatrice being between Chicken and Gecko. So doubles matches are really fun to watch. We had our first one in this tournament the other day, and it was quite entertaining. So definitely tune in for that. Again, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, same channel. And then later tonight, as I pull up the schedule again, I had remembered this but then forgot it. At 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we will be having Chicken versus Hydra in the singles bracket. And that will be taking place, again, 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So make sure to tune in for those. There will be another match tomorrow as well at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So as long as you're not in Florida, in which case you should really not be in Florida tomorrow, you can tune into that and check it out between Trojan Dude and Mad Insane. But that is going to do it for us for now. So come on back in about 3.5 hours and we'll have some more action for you. In the meantime, I've been Vol'jin on behalf of my good friend Bob, our friends at the truck, Meldon and Salandriel, and our restreamer Richard. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Day. Thing.